one thing that's kind of it's disgusting, but in some way it's kind of funny, I mean, in some way, but it's so gross. They'll have two people, these Nazis who control the Camera Thought Network. They'll have like two people, two victims, They'll beam like some conflict on this, one person's mind, and then they'll beam the response onto the other, and they'll have like a little conversation going between the two, but the two people don't even generate a thought about it. They're just having their own conversation to make people feel bad, to make them, have these unpleasant thoughts, and to cause conflict between two people, they'll just make up some crap, beam it on a person's mind. And, I think the outsiders and victims who start to catch on kind of feel like, oh, you're like in a constant combat with these piece of shit people who beam images and sounds onto our brains. It's constant, they put some stupid racist or, some homophobic thing or whatever in your mind. You're like, no, you have to do the exact opposite. No, it's time for you people to integrate. It's time for you people to stop the violence, and so on. You're like a constant. It was just like these Nixonian, total Nazi fascists, murderers of the most criminal, Tex Watson, criminal, just violent, vicious Nazi, Thane Caesar type, people who would murder anybody and their uncle and aunt, and cousins and, grandparents or themselves, Once you murder one person, just like Adolf Hitler proved, you can murder anybody, And it's disgusting, and I'd be very frightened, and I am, of those people who murder. Frightened enough to do something about them, frightened enough to expose them, saying, hey, they've gone too far with this 9/11. They've gone too far with Frank Sturgis and Thane Caesar. We can't let them continue with the next JFK, next Martin Luther King Jr., next 9/11. This is too dangerous. These people, we're talking about the survival of life on Earth. It's much more important than, being silent.